Jamal and Kim's Inner Circle Health Tribe, Episode 12.
It's time to reverse the imbalances in your life as you take the first step on your own journey towards personal change. Welcome to Jamal and Kim's Inner Circle Health Tribe, educating, empowering, and inspiring individuals to live healthier. Now here are your hosts and your guides to natural living, Jamal and Kim.
Hi, Kim and Jamal here, and welcome to another episode of Jamal and Kim's Inner Circle Health Tribe podcast. In this episode, Jamal and I like to every week recap the interview of the week, discuss some of our key takeaways, and also expound on some things and discuss any other things that we would like to discuss with our audience. So I'm Kim, and I'm joined with Jamal.
Greetings, everyone.
And
peace and blessings.
Yes. And this Monday, we had the opportunity to interview Dez Meecham. Dez came on and talked about vegetarianism, and he also shared information about his new cookbook and the inspiration behind it. And he shared his story toward vegetarianism. So I definitely want to say thanks to Dez for taking the time to join us on our show and sharing his story. And, it was a great interview. And I'm sure those of you who listened to it, you got some information that you can utilize to take you one step closer to living healthier or sustaining your healthy lifestyle. So before we begin, or I guess let's just dive in. Did you want to start? Did you have any key takeaways?
She always passes the mic over to me first. It was a good show. Thanks, Des, for joining us on the show. Couple things that I really thought about the show overall, and one of the things is Des. He spoke about his state of health and how he had poor health, and he went to the doctors, and the doctor kind of made him begin that process of thinking about the things that he was doing to his body.
Right.
And, how many shows are we in now? 14, 12?
Well, he was 11, so this is 12.
So, yeah, we've had about 6 guests on so far. And, most of the time, people, they talk about just a situation that they were in, and they had a realization and they made changes to change their health. And most of the time it was done with food. We think about food, and food is really medicine. Like, your food is your medicine. And I don't know what it is that always makes us want to work from the back end of things, even with myself. And I know the same thing with you too. We get these health challenges, and now we work from the back end to change things. And then hopefully once you change things, you never look back. But, here's a thought. What about working from the front end of things? How about you use this podcast as a means of learning from the mistakes that we made? I mean, definitely take the jewels and the wisdom that we give you of how it's possible for your body to heal itself, because it can. If you create a healing environment for your body, it can heal. But how about you don't put yourself in the position where you have to heal yourself? How about you work from a position where you maintain optimum health, and you just maintain optimum health, and you don't have to go backwards and fight your way back to good health? We see that all the time.
Right.
And, really doesn't have to be like that. Why don't you use these shows as your wake-up call to do something so that you don't have to go through the things that a lot of our clients went through? Like with Queen Neat, she had, for a 40-pound fibroid. Like, how about you take your health so seriously that you don't get to the point where you have to reverse a 40-pound fibroid? I mean, that's serious. Yeah, that's really serious. And just all of these story after story where we hear people having these serious health challenges. How about you just get healthy now? One of the things that Des said, we like to ask our clients, not our clients, like to ask our guests about, one thing that that they would like to leave you with. And that's what he said, do it now. Don't
Take action.
wait. Yeah. Take action now, and don't wait. Don't hold off on that.
Yeah, that's definitely, don't talk about it, be about it. And it starts with your actions. Another thing that stuck out to me, or one thing that stuck out to me with talking with Dez, was kind of just also discussing what you were saying, Jamal, about Dez going to the doctor. I think he was changing medical insurance companies, and he had to get a physical. And that's when he became aware of his high cholesterol and I believe his blood pressure, but it was something with the cardiovascular system. And what comes to mind for me was Dez was so young.
Right.
It wasn't like he was, older, he's stressed out from work, or, like in his 40s or older. He was probably in his mid-20s, or I know he was probably younger than 30. And to be diagnosed with that so young, and that kind of just segues for me into people just having an awareness of what optimum health is. Because like you were saying, Jamal, you want to get on the front end of it. But a lot of times people are not aware that just because you get older, you want to get better. It's not, I'm getting older. Oh, I'm supposed to feel achy. I'm supposed to feel sluggish. That is not the case, and you don't have to subscribe to that reality.
Right.
So that's why we do this podcast, to share other people's stories, but also to inspire you to make those little small choices each and every day to lead you to the path of optimum health, as opposed to sickness and having to come from the back end and hit a home run, which you can, but you don't have to take the hard route. Another thing that Dez mentioned was our children, the youth, and the connection with the parents' health, with the children's health. And for me, that is enough motivation for me if I was, eating poorly, to change my lifestyle, because, our children are our most prized possession. And the legacy we leave behind for them is not just financial. It's not just getting them through college. It's also about our lifestyle and the examples that we leave for them. So I don't want to be the prime person to get them on the path of sickness. I want to be the example of, my mom, she was like 70 and she still was going to the gym every day, and she still played tennis, and she still was so active, and she was so vibrant. That's the example that we want to live for our children. And Dez was mentioning, because he is a school teacher, that he sees, the kids in school with obesity and all these other things, ADHD, and the connection. You have to first look at the foods that we're consuming when they're in the womb, when they're out of the womb, what's in our houses, what are we exposing them to most of the time. We have to kind of take a look at the whole picture and take responsibility for our children's health and well-being.
Yeah, I agree with you. A lot of our clients come in and they're making the attempt to try to get their children to eat healthier. And a lot of people have a difficult time with that, just saying that their children don't want to listen and don't want to follow kind of that plan. And you hit it on the nose. You have to be the example. And one of the things that we found with our daughter is that because we try to eat healthy and we try to be that example, and we try not to do we try not to be that contradiction, telling her not to eat certain things and then she sees us eating them. We try to be that example. And what we notice with her is that she is naturally growing into that person that is more health conscious, just by us being the example. So when it comes to your children, and when it comes to helping them to take their health to the next level, it's very important that, more so than telling them, you have to actually do it, and you have to put the time in to transform your health, and they have to see you being the example. And then when you talk to them, they're looking at it differently. We have a client that came in recently. She's been with us for a few weeks now, and she's doing the program, and her daughter's doing the program along with her, and that's good to see. And her daughter's having some really transformational
she
results.
Lost like 13 pounds, and it hasn't even been like a month.
Hasn't even been a month, because she's following her mother. They're supporting each other, and they're doing it together. You can't just live your life any way you want, but expect your children to do something different just because you're telling them to. It has to be much deeper than that. So, for people that are struggling with that, getting their children to comply, that's really the ingredient. The ingredient is being that kind of living testament on that.
Yeah, and I also feel that we always talk about this a lot, about the health education, in the regular school system and just in the home is lacking in the sense of the connection with us and our bodies, understanding how our bodies run. When you feel a certain way, like picking up on that, the little indicators that we get, I think is so crucial, because when we spoke to, actually in our next podcast that we're releasing on Monday, the woman that I'm not going to reveal her name, but you got to stay tuned for that. But she talked about her journey of health, and when she reversed her health, she became more connected and more conscious and aware in her life, not just health-wise, but just overall. And that's one of the many benefits of having optimum health. Certain things start to open up for you because you feel better, you have more energy, you're more aware. And for our children, it's so important for them to know their bodies, understand them, and we can't rely on just the traditional school system. I mean, Jamal and I homeschool Soora, and this is definitely going to be a part of her curriculum. But if your child is in regular school, don't just rely on the health class to teach them these things. Do it together as a family and understand seasonal changes and different organs of the body and what they do. And if I eat this food, what organ am I affecting, or, in a negative way, and not make it so, just make it as simple as possible. Because when you start to understand the body and you understand how it works, that also helps with, making better food choices.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're relying on health education from the school system to educate your children on their bodies, then you're going to be sadly disappointed, because we're really not taught that the health education system isn't teaching us how to be healthy. It teaches us how to manage our health, but it doesn't teach us how to be healthy overall. So it's going to be up to you to listen to shows like this, and even get your children to listen to shows like this,
right,
and expose them to things that's going to help to educate them on how to take their health to the next level. And one other thing that we touched on in the show that I think is very important, and that's just support, and having the support. The reason why Dez was able to have the transformation that he had was because of the support system that he had in his life, the different people exposing him to different things. So it's very important that you expose yourself to these different outlets out here that's going to help to take your health to the next level. So you have to plug yourself in. You have to subscribe to that health magazine. You have to subscribe to that online site. You have to take the time to listen to shows like these. You have to do your research and find natural health restaurants and places that you can go.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important that you take the time out to do your research and find ways to stay in this energy. And when you can do that, that reinforcement is what's going to help to keep you on the path and keep you committed. So that is very important.
Right. I mean, well, Des called it a mastermind. And basically a mastermind is a collection of two or more people of like mind moving in the same direction, or they're in the direction or living a life that you want to live. And that comes back down to the support. But the great thing about a mastermind is that you don't have to personally know the people in the mastermind. There's so many people in my mastermind in terms of health, business, that I connect with on other podcasts, or I read a blog or watch a YouTube video and learn from people from afar that I may never meet in my lifetime, or maybe one day I will, who knows. But the same thing pertains to health. Put Jamal and I in your health mastermind, subscribe to the podcast, check out our YouTube videos, check out our blog, and stay in the energy of people that know you can achieve optimum health, are here to support you and want to see you thrive and succeed, and understand the trials and tribulations that may be attributed to that, of people looking at you funny. Maybe certain friends you can no longer hang around, or, you're just going to have to, you can't remain the same person if you want to continue to grow. Certain aspects of yourself is going to have to die off, and it's okay, because you'll, retain, or you'll get new habits that are going to be life-changing and powerful and more beneficial to your overall life and well-being. So it's always good to have that support and to surround yourself with like-minded people moving in the same direction, who are going to positively encourage you and influence you to move forward to the goals that you set for yourself.
Right. And another thing that I think is important when you're trying to take your health to the next level is to invest in yourself. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself, because to me, that's the fastest way. When we're just going by hearsay and we're just kind of, doing Google searches and things like that, all of that information is good and you get good, valuable information, but you take your health to the level when you begin to spend money. So by going out and buying Dez's book, you're getting, direct research information. I know he was saying in his book he provided nutritional results and he gave a little education on the different vegetables and things like that that you'll be purchasing for this, for whatever recipe that you're going to get. So I think it's important to invest, to buy books, to educate yourself, and going to pay to get health consultations and things of that nature. And then you're customizing your life to the things that you want. So I think it's very important to spend money on your health and spend money on your health education.
Yes, certainly. As Jamal was saying, there's definitely, we're in the information age, and there is definitely, millions worth of information out there on the internet. Google is, it's my best friend. YouTube is my best friend. But I know personally what collapsed time frames for me is, like Jamal said, investing in the education, in the books, taking classes. We would travel anywhere to see someone if we wanted a particular skill set or if we wanted to know certain information. We're in New Jersey. We've, went to classes in New York. We've went to certain restaurants to just see how they made certain things. Just getting exposed to that and staying, in that energy, it certainly will help, definitely.
Yeah. The last thing that I want to say is just don't be afraid to try new things. Dez, it was kind of funny. He was talking about how, the doctor had mentioned something to him that he never heard of before. And he said it was green leafy vegetables.
Right. But the funny thing was, he said, I thought I was doing good. It wouldn't be a podcast about me laughing, but he said, I thought I was doing good. I was eating the collard greens during the holidays.
Right.
I thought I was eating the mixed vegetables from the
Chinese. Vegetable fried rice, yeah.
And I laughed because we all were there.
Yeah,
it's not a bad thing, but that's kind of like bare minimum. But, we all got to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere, and don't hesitate to try new things and expand your palate, because with that, you're going to expand your nutrition. He spoke about green leafy vegetables. Green leafy vegetables are very high in minerals, very high in their healing powers, their detoxification and ability to repair and build the body. So you definitely want to incorporate green leafy vegetables in your diet, whether it's eating the green leafy vegetables directly or juicing them or having some type of food concentrate. You definitely want to get more green leafies in. So my homework and challenge to you is try a new green leafy vegetable. A lot of times, people stick to the standard stuff, like kale and spinach and lettuce. But there are so many others. You have, arugula, you have chard, you have Swiss chard, dandelion greens, bok choy. These are all different types of green leafy vegetables that I definitely recommend you to try it. If there's one of these that we named, I recommend you to try it if you haven't.
Yeah, and Dez, because we have a copy of his cookbook, he has some delicious, simple green leafy vegetables. I saw one that I definitely want to make, and I'll share it with the community on our blog and on Facebook when I make it. But all the recipes in his book, like he was saying, is 20 minutes or less. So the whole time factor, that erases that obstacle. But yeah, definitely try a new green leafy vegetable.
Mm-hmm.
You will not be, you won't regret it.
Right.
And your body will certainly thank you for it.
Yeah.
And also, if you didn't get a chance to listen to episode 11, Dez shared that he is going to be giving away 5 free copies of his cookbook. But we wanted to be fair to everyone, so we listed the qualifications that you had to do one thing or a couple things actually, and submit it to us, and the first 5 people would get a copy of his cookbook. So if you hadn't had a chance to listen to episode 11, definitely check that out and snag a copy of his cookbook, because it is really good. It's really, the recipes are simple, but they're flavorful, and I can't wait to dive in and make some of those recipes. Yeah,
and I will say this, whether you're listening to this show kind of in real time when it airs, if you're listening to the show weeks later, months later, or even years later, don't sleep on still, submitting the information, doing the review and submitting it to get the free book, because a lot of times people will automatically assume that, that someone already did it. They're not that person. They don't qualify for it. And meanwhile, you have a slot still sitting there because people didn't, they may have did the review and didn't even send it in because they thought that they were too late. So you would be surprised.
Right.
You have nothing to lose. You can get a free book.
You got to be in it to win it.
Yeah, you get a free book out of the deal. So, it's worth it no matter when you listen to it, because you just may be surprised. Or Des just may send us some more for some giveaways that we can send out to you.
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Right? Anything else you have to discuss or would like to discuss?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, so before we go, just want to remind everyone, if you have not joined our email list, just go to jkhealthtribe.com. And on the top of our blog, or on the right side, there is a place for you to subscribe to our mailing list, where you'll get our weekly newsletter, where we send out great health information each and every Friday. And you'll also be kept abreast of anything that Jamal and I will be doing in the future, which we have a lot of things in store down the road. So please do that when you get a chance. And before we go, I want to say thanks for listening, and live healthier.
Definitely stay healthy.
We hope you enjoyed your time with Jamal and Kim's Inner Circle Health Tribe. To keep you on your path towards a happy, healthier lifestyle, we encourage you to visit jkhealthtribe.com for a free copy of the 8 effective ways to lose weight and keep it off, as well as more content to help you find your health balance. Thanks again, and we look forward to educating, empowering, and inspiring you to live healthier.